Well, I think if we are going to go into the spooky, supernatural, and all things creepy tonight, I got to light a candle or two because it is a dark, spooky, rainy, stormy kind of night here. And what better way to set the mood?
Perfect. I don't know if I agree with the creepy statement, but
we'll see where this goes. It might be
spooky.
creepy.
Yeah, you never know.
All right. So, Jen, thanks for coming by the studio and
Thank you
doing
for
this.
having me.
We've been looking forward to having you and having this discussion for a while. But I wanted to get into this. You and I have known each other for a couple years now.
Phew.
Yeah, we met comedy shows downtown. We had the two back-to-back shows, one over at the Sweet Palette when we were doing the Burnt Out show, or the Half-Baked show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Half-Baked show. And then the next night we had one over above Vagabond. It was like our Halloween show. So what better way of a good segue of something spooky and then Halloween? Look at us.
Yes. What were you? Were you a Ghostbuster
I don't...
the second night? Were you
I think I was an astronaut. I think I have an astronaut suit.
Well, I knew it was a One Piece situation, so
Yes.
Ghostbusters jumped in my mind.
I have I have an astronaut suit that I throw on. I would say pretty routine. It's lightweight. It's a zip up. It's easy.
It's a solid option.
I can pull the sleeves up, and you don't even really need anything other than just like a NASA hat, and that's it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And so to go into like another good segue here. So we are that house in the neighborhood for Halloween every year.
You guys crush it.
We go over the top. And last year, unfortunately, we couldn't do it. And when I came back around, the neighbors were like, "Hey, so what happened? We missed it."
Disappointed.
I know.
That's what happens once you start knocking it out of the park in the neighborhood. It's expected.
It is, and we go a little overboard too, because with the kids every year, there's at least one little Jedi or some kid walking around with a lightsaber. I have a full size Darth Vader lightsaber downstairs. And I can see the little lightsabers coming from, down the block. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's time. So I will go inside every single year. I see a kid dressed like a little Jedi, and I will get my saber, and we will lightsaber fight in the driveway.
You probably scare them. It's probably the biggest Jedi they've ever seen.
They love it. They love it. Because I'll just let them come down the driveway, and then I'll just, click on the lightsaber, and they're like, ah! They'll, run at me, and we'll... Yeah.
I love that.
But... yeah, so you have been, I would say, educating and or entertaining Casey and I for a while with the astrology charts thing.
Yes, I have been working on getting my PhD. It is a completely self-created degree.
PhD.
It's not from any reputable. It's just me and TikTok and Google. But I love it. And it started, I think, for me, because I always knew my sun sign and was like, oh, I'm a Taurus. This makes sense. But I think part of my self-awareness journey, it was like one more layer of information for me, right? And then I started going past the sun sign, like your big 3, your big 6. I've just been really digging into the layers of it. It's fascinating. Not just to understand myself better, but honestly, I love getting to know people in my life too. I'm like, oh, this tracks.
Yeah. Well, I want to scoot those over there. Those are getting a little warm right there by my face. But I've known about the sun sign, the one that everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, what month were you born? What day are you born? It kind of cuts it off. It's like a year of the dragon, year of the rat thing. Like it's something new all the time, right?
Which is really relevant information too.
There you go. And I can say that I unnecessarily get a bunch of Virgo hate. Being a September, like a late September male Virgo, tons of hate for no reason. I didn't even do anything to these people because they're like, well, when is your birthday? I'm like, it's late September. They're like, ew, Virgo?
See, I just think it's so unfair. It's such a very one-dimensional view of astrology because let's take Virgo, for example. I have so many Virgos in my life. none of them are the same.
Mm.
Because your rising sign, so your sun sign is kind of like the foundation of you, right? Just the foundation of you. But your rising sign is actually how you're received or almost present to other people. And then your moon sign's your emotions, and your Venus sign's how you love. So there's so much more. So, and Virgos are a really solid sign.
Being a Virgo, I agree.
Virgos are whole assers,
Yeah.
not half assers. Like they are detail oriented, diligent, responsible. You want something done? Go to a Virgo or
Yeah.
an earth sign in general. Honestly, I'm a Taurus, so we're both earth signs.
All right.
You want something done? Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, they're going to get it done.
Interesting. Yeah, you say whole ass in it. I think I've been whole ass in it my whole life, which
Yeah.
is good. The storm is starting. Right as we're getting into
Did
the
you
good
see
stuff.
those shelf cloud pictures?
The shelf clouds, like from today.
Yes. I was having tornado flashbacks. Like I would have freaked out if I saw the shelves cloud off a 295.
Oh yeah, I'll get into that with you in a second. But the sign thing, like being resourceful and like over analyzing something is the only thing I understand how to do. I wouldn't say over analyzing like in a detrimental way, but before I make a decision on something, I want to be able to look at all facets of it, all sides of it, and really almost take myself out of the equation of like, recently I even, started practicing this thing where, I'm like, okay, am I emotionally reacting to this? Am I acting irrational to this? And, trying to think about it from like my perspective and other person's perspective too, to make sure that, I'm making smart decisions, which I think is just part about being an adult. I think it's just trial and error at this point, as an adult.
Well, yeah, that's part of the process, right? But when you understand that some things you're just hardwired for, whether that's good or bad, because there's obviously good and bad in everything. And in any sign, wherever the placement is, because then the houses and the planet and there's so many things that factor in. Then when you're aware of it, you're like, okay, if I know that I'm a little hard on myself, because I tend to be a perfectionist. Well, I'm talking about
thing?
you. No, I'm talking about you.
Oh, me? Me?
We're reading you for filth today. Then that information might help you. Like, okay, am I Virgoing out on this? Can I just enjoy this moment because you guys are so detail oriented and diligent and you want to produce almost a perfect product. Sometimes you don't enjoy your accomplishment because you're going back and analyzing and kind of like, oh, I could tighten this. I could tighten. So it takes away from the joy of all your hard work sometimes.
Yeah, and that's a big thing for me. I've been struggling with for, I don't know, a few years. I've not. So that kind of paired with like imposter syndrome kind of feel is a big one.
I think everybody has that, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody has it. I tell Brody that all the time. Like, do you think I know what I'm doing because I'm your mom? No, I'm literally just winging it, and I make winging it look really good and usually pull it off. So,
Yeah.
Do any of us fully know what we're doing?
No, and I saw some people recently, like a little gang of people. I was over in Europe recently, and like a group of people who were like little ruffians. You can kind of tell they were like we call the outdoor types, the homeless variety. And I was telling a buddy of mine, I was like, it's kind of crazy when you see people like that. That person was a baby at one time. That person was born just like everybody else, and it's a series of life decisions that lead you to
And
where you're
circumstances,
at. And circumstances.
Sometimes not even
Out of
decisions. Like your life circumstances will kind of set you up or position you to be susceptible to certain things.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in the whole all people are created equal kind of thing. But there definitely is people who get a better head start than others. Like that's just a fact.
It's reality.
Yeah, and you got to just be mindful of it. That not everybody started where you started. So, but so you have my entire star chart, which is something
I do. And
I know nothing about.
What I think would be interesting, because I have your full chart, is to go over some of the ones people don't traditionally know about,
Okay.
right? Because some of these things really are so accurate that you just can't deny it, which is my favorite thing. So we're going to start with, well, actually, first, this makes me laugh. We don't agree on how this is pronounced, but I thought it was fascinating that your Chiron is in Gemini. Chiron's like wounded healer,
Okay.
and your wife is a Gemini.
She could be a little wounded from time to time, but aren't we all?
No, just that like, but that's your wounded healer. I found that fascinating. I need to do more research on how like relevant it is, but that Casey would be your safe space and your wounded healers in Gemini is fascinating to me.
Yeah, we tell each other all the time that, there's a good balance between us. I'm more like the rational thinker. She's the emotional thinker. I'm the more the rational reactor. She's sometimes more the emotional reactor, and that's fine. She sees that EQ, that your emotional quality of yourself, and balance each other out. And we always tell each other, like, "Hey, you're the rock that we built this relationship on," and she goes, "No, you're the rock we built this relationship on." And we just go back and forth. So
you guys are a true partnership and do really balance each other out. So let's go over your South Node in Libra. You have a lot of Libra in your chart, which really made sense once I was able to pull your full chart because I was dying to know your rising sign. But you are very fair and balanced and can see all sides of everything. To have a Venus Libra, chef's kiss. The only two signs that are ruled by Venus are Taurus and Libra. So it just gives you extra good points.
maybe that's why we get along so well.
It's in our charts. So it says South Node in the 4th house or sign. This placement gives a personality with a focus on recognized achievement. Although you are comfortable in your private home life, which is what comes most naturally to you, you are determined as you mature to move beyond the personal and secure enclosure of your home and family and out into the public sphere. Something is calling you to come forth and shine your light so that the world can see it. Your search for public recognition is not, however, a goal in and of itself, but connects you to a larger picture of social commitment and service to the collective idea that reinforces your sense of self as a part of the greater whole. An important cog in this turning wheel of world events, thus you come full circle to a self-concept that includes its own sense of security and beneficial interaction with the social matrix that surrounds you. I feel like that makes so much sense because you are a humanitarian at heart. You're a selfless, not selfish individual. So when you do something, it's usually because you're doing it for more than yourself. You did that with comedy. It wasn't just about like, oh, I want to be on stage and I want all the attention. You were trying to create a space for other local comedians, a place for them to be able to showcase their talents. Like you do think in group settings, not just like, how does this benefit me?
Yeah, that kind of goes. You hit that too. So that was really the crux of the Locals comedy when we started this thing. It's morphed and evolved over the years, and it'll be very soon open back up to some other creative, collaborative spaces, and more to follow on that. But yeah, that's one of the things that I even took into like my own personal leadership philosophy at work, which is the take care of the people and the people will take care of the mission for you, or take care of the job or whatever it is. And that's, I don't know. I think that's maybe just kind of like the fabric of who I am. Like, we're all individuals and we all, come from, like I said, different backgrounds. We all have different motivations and we all want, a lot of the same stuff, which is, peace, happiness, harmony, and success in your life. But yeah, so you just kind of got to get to know your people. Once your people feel comfortable and safe and productive and valued, they'll work very hard for you. Just let them impress you at that point.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you're an exceptional leader just knowing your personality.
Yeah. So you talked about the at home thing too. I noticed this when I first started doing comedy, especially the longer sets. So, when you first start doing comedy, if somebody's like, hey, can you come by this show and do 5 minutes? I'm like, oh my God, 5 minutes? Do I have 5 minutes?
That's a long time on a stage.
It is. And it feels like forever. When you start comedy, that 5 minutes is like, I cannot be funny for 5 minutes. Like, there's no way.
I couldn't even spell a word for 5 seconds. Like, I do not like being on stage.
And then now, I mean, I'm about 6 years into this thing. I can have somebody hit me up like, hey, can you come by and do 25, 30, 40 minutes? I'm like, yeah, no problem. But I feel like that a lot of times I give that stage all of my energy. I give that set all of my energy. I give the audience all my energy. And when I leave the stage, a lot of people, a lot of comics and like a lot of, even like the fans and people that are hanging around, they're like, oh yeah, hey, high five, whatever else, great set, great job, and everything. Like, I usually like to go hide for like a good like 5 or 10 minutes, kind of like recharge that battery, come back down off of it, and then I can interact with people. And sometimes people think that's like me just kind of, I don't know, being an asshole sometimes, because I come off stage, I'm like, I don't really want to hang with people right now. Like, give me a few minutes,
But
and I'll come back around.
I would venture to guess you're a bit of an ambivert. Like, when it's time to be on and go, like, you're an amazing host. You do all that really well, but you also deeply need some quiet, peaceful time to recharge.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
It's hard to people all day too. It's like, think on a day of comedy night, you're working all day, come home, get everything, go there, set it. Like, you've been peopling all day.
Peopling.
Like, oh, I need a break. I know I'm like that. Like, I have to get up before the sun and set myself up for, I need to just have silence in my life to recharge so I can go out there and like, hey guys.
Yeah, I also get up pretty early too. Well, try to get up early. My alarm goes off at 5. Sometimes I get up at 5. Sometimes it's 5:30. I don't even have to start getting ready to go to work till 7:30.
Wow.
Yeah, so that 2 hours or so in the morning, that's like my comedy writing time. I need to write emails to people time, and just kind of easing into the day, and then eventually I'll go to work.
Coffee and TikTok time. Yeah. I get up at 4 and usually I get in the shower at 5:30. So I get like an hour and a half of like my coffee meditation.
All right, I want to give you credit for something real quick. I'm going to flip this over. It is pronounced Chiron. It is indeed Chiron, but you were correct. But I wanted to. I have always heard this car, which is the Bugatti Chiron, I heard it pronounced several times. This is what they call I've heard it called the Chiron. I've never heard it called the Chiron though, but that is a very, really expensive car. I think it's a few $1 million for that thing.
Almost looks like a concept Camaro or something.
It's like a really, really fast Volkswagen Beetle is I think what it is.
Maybe it's a tomato situation, and it can be either.
Could be
I
either.
always have heard Chiron.
All right. Well, you were correct.
We love that.
All right. So talk to me about, you said you got some houses, you got some other stuff. Rising signs. I think we left on rising signs.
Yes. You are, let's see. Where's your ascendant?
This storm is really doing something, huh?
It is. Cancer ascendant.
Cancer.
Mother of the zodiac. This makes perfect sense. Like first you have a high EQ, in my opinion. I feel like you have a high EQ, but you're also very nurturing by nature. I mean, both you and Casey are. Even more of that, like, you guys love to host. Feeding people is your love language. Like, you do. I don't know. That made perfect sense when I saw it. I'm like, of course he's a Cancer. So much Cancer and Libra in your chart, and I think that just like softens out the Virgo a little bit.
Yeah, so you said Cancer is the mother of the signs.
Mother of the zodiac.
The nurturer, the keeper, the protector, that kind of thing.
Yes, it's a water sign. Water signs are more emotion based. So that made perfect sense.
Yeah, water is something that I don't do very well. I mean, I shower, of course, but
I hope so.
yeah, do the old the splash around. I somebody that we both know found this out recently. They said it's one of the silliest things they know about me now.
Oh, what?
I actually kind of hate above ground pools. I don't mind an in-ground pool as long as it's like really well maintained and clean and stuff like that. There's water moving around. I
You're a little bit of a germaphobe.
I am a little bit of a germaphobe.
It's the Virgo. You can't even help it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't really like pools. And I don't and some people are like, "Oh, let's go swim in the lake." Like,
What's down
I'm
there?
good. Yeah, well, I've had a couple like I would say like close brushes with death when it came to water. Twice in my life.
Oh, well.
Almost died to a water event. So
Then, yeah, maybe the universe was telling you shouldn't be in the water.
yes, you see these do not have webbed anything on them. These fingers are not duck fingers. I'm not meant to
I
swim.
don't think I've known about these almost. Did you almost drown?
Twice. Yeah, in my life, I've almost drowned, like very close to drowning twice in my life.
That is horrifying. I
Yeah.
wouldn't like the water either.
Nah, I'm good. Yeah.
I think the older I get, the more, well, you know me though, I love a pool. Not just I'm not just going to be in anybody's pool, and I'm not a huge fan of an above ground. But if it's a beautiful pool, I could be in it for 12 hours.
Not me. There's a lot of these people that I used to work with when I lived in Las Vegas that loved going down to the party pools and stuff that on the strip. Like these,
no.
like, yeah, the beach clubs, as they
That's
call them.
not really. I'd actually like to be in the pool by myself.
That's probably preferable. Yeah, that's actually good. If I could be in a pool by myself or like with like one or two other people, and that's it,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Depending on my mood, like my first choice is by myself. And then like if I wanted to have fun, people can come later. But I do my own little thing. I flit around, I have a little workout, I put my headphones on. I can have a blast all by myself in the pool for hours on hours and hours.
So another one of the things I don't like about being in a pool is I am 6 foot 4 inches tall.
Oh.
I go into most pools and I'm up to my nipples. Like that's as far. Like if I stand up in a standard like 5 foot pool, great, up to the tits. That's all I got. That's all I got.
See, I have the opposite problem coming in at hardly 5'1".
You would die in a pool if you just stood there.
I know. I can't. I have to be in the shallow end or the kiddie pool or something.
Oof, no.
So, but I do love the water.
I'm good. We'll talk. I'll tell you about the drowning ones at the end when we get done with this.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want.
So you actually have a sun and moon in Virgo.
I'm a double Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so organized. You can't even peel me away from it.
No, it's in the stars.
There it is.
Literally. Let's talk about your Venus in Libra because I found this fascinating too. Venus in Libra gives a gentle nature, one who is considerate and kind. You are inclined to be young at heart. With this placement, you highly value relationships and are genuine, direct, and clear in its expression. You have a graceful sense of partnership with others, and your affection may be expressed more fully on mental and spiritual levels, rather than on the level of physical sensation. You make a good diplomat. You can see all sides of an issue and may have trouble in deciding on any one alternative since they all have their good points in your eyes. You have refined aesthetic sensibilities and a keen sense of color and can function well with artful expression or interior design work. You are a pleasant and likable companion, always ready to see the best in others. Venus in the 4th house represents deeply felt connection within you between values and aesthetics and the roots of your being, psychological or environmental, as in home and family. You are fond of children and the life of the home. You are likely to be gentle, receptive, and charming, perhaps inclined to be sentimental or nostalgic. You undoubtedly have an aesthetically pleasing home and are very devoted and loyal in sharing your sensitive and caring nature with others. You may be able to earn money based on your living space, either working there or becoming an advisor concerning decoration and interior design. Your father or same-sex parent likely provided a stable and loving presence as the basis for your feelings of security. You value kindness and trust between people above all things and naturally create a calm and beneficial home environment. Like, come on, Mitch. That is literally you. Am I wrong?
No, and I want to get through this one here. I want to power through. My dad has been such a role model in my life. He has showed me that determination and working hard and getting up out of bed when you're tired, sick, and just want to quit and just keep going. Like, that's the kind of guy that I wish everybody could have in their life is really what it is. You know, the guy who, you know, when my sister and I were young, you know, he was, you know, walking to a job just to, like, you know, make some extra money here and there, and then worked his way up, and then he, like, retired, you know, very successful. And, like, now he just plays golf and hangs out. So, and also does comedy. So, so like, it's one of those things, like, when you say, like, yo, you're a parent or your same-sex parent, you know, like that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, like, my dad was a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
And still is a huge part of my life. You know, he's just an absolute goober. And I really do think that he's just a 67-year-old version of me.
Yeah.
Which is maybe why I'm just so kiddish at heart sometimes.
A little spicier, though, because he's a Leo. So
Yeah.
he's got a little more. You get a little more spice, but you did get an exceptional dad.
He has tried this whole, what he calls go with the flow thing. Every year around New Year's, he's like, all right, this year, you know, I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to worry about things. I'm just going to go with the flow. And that from January 1st, it'll last to maybe the 5th. There'll be a mild inconvenience in his life. And he's like, I'm done with this shit.
He can't help it either. I'm going to pull his full chart next and read him for filth because I mean, he's hardwired for certain things too.
Yeah. So with this, where can somebody go look up and get their full chart? Like, what's your source to go to?
Well, I use a couple different things. This actually, pulling your chart, was the first time I used this app, which is Time Passages, which I really like. I've used CoStar, but more for just like knowing where my placements are. So then I literally will Google. So I'll be like, Aries, 4th house. You like literally type it into Google because that matters. The houses all represent areas of your life. Like the first house is yourself, really. And then the planets. And it's really so deep. There's so many layers to it. I'll be studying for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you were texting me when we were talking about when we were going to do this episode, and you're like, "Oh my God, the planet's heavy, so sad." I'm like, "No, it's just one. It's Earth. Earth is making you sad, and it's making us all sad right now. So it's not just you."
No, I'm telling you, I am an Earth sign. I'm a fixed Earth sign. Okay, and it's just my personal belief. Like, I am deeply affected when there's certain planetary things going on. Interrupted sleep. Like, I could tell this week that Chiron was in Gemini because I was a little more sensitive, and I'm already a sensitive girl. And obviously there's a ton of people in my life that think it's ridiculous and, you know, giggle about it. But
yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I personally think there's a lot of weight to it.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said Chiron is in, what is it again?
Gemini.
So Chiron is in Gemini, and I was like, wow, that sounds like a really interesting skin flick.
Which is your Chiron in your chart is in Gemini. So have you been feeling a little more emotional this week?
Not at all, actually. I've actually been in a very good mood this week, which is yeah. This is interesting.
Maybe you've healed all your wounds and it's not triggering you.
Yeah,
I have a lot of Gemini placements.
I just let that shit go.
Which initially was like a little unsettling for me. I'm well versed in Geminis. My best friend's a Gemini. My sister's a Gemini. 2 of my exes are Geminis. I know Geminis. I equate them to, they're air signs. So they're kind of everywhere.
I know a few of them. I'm not even sure if they're Geminis.
They're like the sign of communication and information. And it's almost like their brains are, the equivalent to if every browser window you opened was still open. If a Gemini tells you that is the best vacuum to purchase, it is, because they've done all the research. They've read all the reviews. They're the ones that are going to do those types of that. I'm never going to do that. I'm going to be like, oh my God, it's cute. Like, this is literally how I purchase most things in my life, right? Casey, she's done there might be a pie chart. There could be an Excel spreadsheet. She's figured it out.
Yeah, there might be a spreadsheet or two.
Sometimes it's nice because I don't have to worry about that part of it because I'm not first going to do it.
She does give me advice about what we should and shouldn't buy around the house. But hey, I looked up Time Passages, the app, Google's Play Store and the Apple Play Store. So people can go out there and get that. Mm-hmm. I owe you 2 stories at least, and I wanted to share some cool supernatural stuff with you too.
Yes,
we talked about this. You haven't seen it, and I wanted to save it. Twice in my life. Almost died to water. The first one was kind of hard because I was like super young. Like my parents kind of just split up. It was down there at Hope Mills Lake. There's like a little dock down there. And I remember just like as a kid, just like sitting on the end of the dock, and I was like watching the water and stuff like that. My mom and her boyfriend were out somewhere else. And like I was so short, my little foot couldn't reach the water. So I was trying to reach with the foot, and then right off the end of the dock. Didn't know how to swim and just like shoot straight to the bottom. It felt like I was under there forever.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. And then I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy. Like I can't get back to the surface. And then just some random stranger who was just happened to be by just snatched me out of the water.
Oh my gosh. Thank God.
Yeah. The second time, that's not bad enough. I think I may have just became a teenager, if not like maybe like 12 or 13, something like that. Was on a church canoeing trip here and on the Cape Fear, like just after a hurricane came through. It was like maybe like a week before the hurricane came through, and we're like, we're still going to go. There's like a bunch of us in these canoes and stuff that were going down the Cape Fear, whatever else. And we come around a little corner, and there's like a big ass tree that had fallen across the river, and a bunch of our canoes got stuck in it. We got sucked up underneath the tree, and I got caught under there a little bit up in all like these tree branches and stuff. And it was a huge like oak tree type thing. And I got out, Dad got out as well, and we just kind of swam to the shore, and we're like, well, we're going to need to go flag somebody down. So we walk, it seems like forever through the woods. Like, he knows where he's going. I didn't know. I'm just like, all right, well, we're just going to follow Dad, I guess.
Right.
And popped out there on the side of Highway 87 and flagged some people down. We're like, hey, we need to get some people out of the river down here. So we're all stuck in these trees and stuff. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
I'd be a little twitchy around water too.
Yeah, I'm too big, too heavy to be fucking around with water these days. I don't get down with it. I wanted to show you this, and I gotta YouTube something real quick. We were talking about technology and how that ties into the supernatural world these days. Because there's all those people out there trying to like do the ghost hunting thing and like contact,
loved ones who have crossed over.
Yeah. So there is a thing where people are driving their Teslas, which has the radars and, it can see all the cars and everything going around you. There is a thing where people are driving these through graveyards, and the Tesla is picking up people walking around in the graveyards and they're doing it. Yeah, they're doing it and there's just nobody there. So since I've refused to pay for YouTube Premium, we're going to get through this ad real quick. All right. So this is from SWNS. So we'll swap over to this. So let's see if I can get that. Yeah. So this is them driving through a graveyard at night, and so they switch over to there and check it out. So they're like, there's nobody in the graveyard walking around, but they're like, oh my God, we're picking up ghosts and everything in the graveyard. There's like some where these videos where they are parked and like they're pointing the camera out the side and there's just nobody there. And then they pan over to the Tesla. There's like a bunch of like little people standing around the car. And then they pan over. There's nobody.
They're going towards the car.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at that shit. Like if you were out there at night, like the first person to try this and figure it out must have shit a complete brick.
Yeah. But I mean, what are your thoughts? What do you think happens when this shell stops working?
When it's all over with?
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't say.
You don't have like, this is what I believe happens.
I have what I hope happens.
What's that?
Which is there is a life after this one, and you meet all your people that you've always loved and been with and stuff like that. And it's kind of hard to say that one person is correct over the other, because when you look across the spectrum of religious beliefs and formal or informal beliefs, a lot of them have very similar roots in it, and I don't know, it's just kind of hard to say like that's not true. But regardless, we all have the same fate. And one of the things that I think will help people out in life is once you understand that this, whatever you have now, is a gift, and that listen, we're not ranch dressing in the fridge. You go to the fridge, expiration date, you know exactly when it's best by and it's when or expire. You can look all over me, all over you. We don't have expiration dates on us. You don't know how many you're going to get. You don't know, how many you're going to get in good health, bad health, good days, bad days. Today is just a blessing to have. Tomorrow is a mystery, and set yourself up for success. And then I think you'll figure it out.
Yeah, and just be grateful. A wise man in my life always says, it's a God-blessed day. I think sometimes we get caught, and it's easy as adults, we have responsibilities in life, but we forget that like we weren't promised to make it home every day.
Nope.
Like we get up, we get ready, we go to work, and we just assume, but living to an old age and passing away peacefully in your sleep is really...
That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
And most people aren't going out like that. Not every, like there's people who didn't make it to 10, 20, 30. So, I'm a little more seasoned than you, and I'm so grateful. So when I hear people like, ugh, I don't want to be 80, I'm like, oh, I do. My great grandma almost made it to 105 and lived by herself. Please I want to live as long as I can. I want to be with my child as long as possible.
Yeah, I don't even know what the secret to longevity is anymore.
I don't think anybody does. Someone could drink coffee and smoke cigarettes every day and live to be 104, and someone who works out every day has a massive heart attack at 34 and falls out. Like
my great-grandmother smoked cigarettes and drank a pot of coffee.
Probably non-filter ones.
Yeah, it was just the harsh of the harsh cigarettes. And I think she was like in her early 90s. Like she seemed like, I don't know. She seemed like she was very old for like my entire life,
She was probably like 65. Because do you notice like the older you get, the more you realize that's not old?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, wait a second, that's not old.
Yeah, well, I noticed that I'm getting old because I had to do like the rock when I got up off the couch the other day. I had to kind of get a few of these in. But no, she lived a ripe old age, and like I said, she was a red meat, cigarettes, and coffee kind of gal.
Yeah.
And
she probably smoked when she was pregnant. Like, it was just different. And yes, we know better, so we do better. And you work out regularly, you eat pretty clean. Like, we all try to do, maybe not all of us, but many of us try. But that doesn't equate to longevity. I can do everything right. And that doesn't mean I'm going to get to live to 90.
Especially these days when you never know what you're exposed to. They find all these, chemical leaks in the water, and like, you didn't do anything. Like, you're eating clean, doing exactly what you should do, and then like, oh, I didn't know I've been drinking, contaminated water from this source that the government knew about for 6 years and didn't say anything.
There's
I don't know.
the things we put on our body.
Yeah,
like
did you
our
see the Temu
skin.
thing recently? So like Temu got in trouble. No, sorry, Shein. No, Shein got in trouble recently because a lot of the clothes they had had like these like high levels of chemicals in it, and they're like, oh yeah,
Well,
we're
and
sorry.
guess where they end up? Like this year I've been I really want to get away from fast fashion. I've never been like a huge, but I mean, I've purchased here and there, but it's not the environmental impact alone. Like you've seen those pictures of just clothes. I think that's why thrifting's coming back around, which I love. Because we really are kind of like a gluttonous society. It's just like more and buy stuff, but just the things we put on our body, people equate it to like what we put in our body, but what you put on your body, your skin, it soaks into all of that, like there's what we're breathing. We haven't been good stewards of the earth at all.
Speaking of what we're breathing in, these candles are getting too strong for my liking. I'm just going to.
They do smell nice.
They do. They're nice. We're gonna put the. That's how I put them out. I just put the lids on them.
That's what I do.
Yeah, and they'll just snuff themselves out.
Well, then they don't
don't
stink.
smoke.
Yeah.
They do get a little warm when you touch them, but don't do that. Just
I'm
let it
not
be there.
gonna touch it.
Yeah, don't touch it. Don't even look at it.
Listen, I'm prone to injury these days. So.
Oh my gosh, me too. Well, knock on wood, no hospital visits for a while. So I was a frequenter to the ER for a while. Everything from hands to cuts and stitches and
Same.
Yeah.
Baby Bird says hello.
Yeah, dude, you lost a tip of your finger. That shit was crazy.
That was on the 99 portal. I'm like, hey, I wasn't done with that part of my finger. But that was crazy. That'll put just doing something I've done a million times. Like freak accident. I was very grateful that that's all it was, because you can have a freak accident in your car or something else that'd be way more severe. I mean, it wasn't a good time.
That's kind of how it happened when I had to get my appendix removed recently.
Yeah.
Like that was last year I had to get it removed? I think it was last year or early last year.
Yeah, I don't even think it's been a whole year, honestly.
Yeah, that was, I mean, to have your appendix out in your 30s, like your late 30s, like the doctor was like, wow, this is kind of late. Usually we have to remove these things in like teenagers and stuff like that. Just very random onset, just like appendicitis kind of situation.
Did they have you jump? Did I tell Casey to make you jump?
No.
That's how you can test it, they say.
I couldn't even stand up. I the only way I could find a comfortable position was kind of like leaning on the couch and then like almost like at an angle. I couldn't lay on my back. I couldn't lay on my side. I couldn't, for God's sakes, I could not sit in a chair.
Did you almost want to put pressure on it?
No, I didn't want to touch it at all.
Oh.
Like I was just so nauseous. Like I threw up a few times. And one of the things that kind of freaked me out when I went in, they did a MRI to kind of check everything out. And they're like, hey, we found like a little shadow, like something looks weird on your intestine on the opposite side, because your appendix is, I think it was on your right side, I think it is. I think it's on your right side. And they're like, hey, we want to go check this thing out on your intestine. It's on the left side. And they're like, it doesn't look right. And so my appendix scar is actually on my left side, because they wanted to go in on that side, check it out, and then they're going to take the scenic route over to the appendix and take that out.
But hey, we appreciate that they're like, okay, let's take a peek at this while we're in there.
Yeah, while we're in there, take a little tour of the gut.
And you were in and out fairly quickly.
Yeah, I checked in at like 9 p.m. And I got a room immediately. Shout out to good insurance. Yeah, I got a room. They put so many IVs in me. I felt like it's just like a wet sponge. They're like, we gotta make sure you're hydrated. I'm like, I am peeing all the time. Please stop doing this. Like, no, we gotta keep you going. So yeah, I was there overnight, like the standard 6 a.m. prep. They pump you full of like a lot of like anti-anxiety medications. They're like, we just want to make sure you're calm.
Ooh, bonus points.
Yeah.
Like, at least give me a Valium for all this.
I have no idea what they gave me, but they're like, it was like a little thing of pills, and they're like, yeah, it's just to calm you down, make sure you're not too nervous. And I was just laying there just like this. I'm like, I mean, what am I going to do?
Right.
It's either I go in there and get this thing removed, or it's going to blow up in my body, and we're going to have a big ass problem. So, but they insisted, and they're like, I don't know, a lot of prep. They had to shave my belly.
Well, yeah, they didn't want your furry belly hair in there.
I never even thought about it. Like, man, I have a furry belly. Well, I guess too furry. Because she asked, she goes, "Are you furry?" I'm like, well, yeah, I'm a guy. You know?
Not all guys are furry.
Yeah, well, I don't. We already covered the water thing. I don't swim. I have no need to be like a shark or a seal and cut through the water. You know.
But some people are naturally. I'm so jealous of them too, because I'm a little Eastern European descent. I'm a little furry too, but some people just don't have body hair like that.
Not this guy. Nope. This is the reason why people think I'm a Sasquatch enthusiast, because I'm just big, tall, and hairy. But
no, it's just the look.
Of the random shit that I believe in, Sasquatch is not one of those. It's like, I think we would have found him by now.
Right. Right. It's somebody in a costume, or it's just people making up stuff.
I think it's people out in the woods doing a little too much mushrooms and they're just seeing shit. Or they want to believe in it and they're trying to manifest it. But
yeah.
anyways, it sounds like this storm has passed by, which I think this is a perfect time to say, you know what, this is good. But I wanted to highlight this before we left. This table, you let us use this table for the podcast.
I love this table so much.
Yeah, this table has a lot of names carved into it.
Yeah. Well, that was an accident. I actually made payments on this table. I fell in love with it at a shop downtown. The owner of the shop had actually purchased it for herself, and then her husband surprised her with a new dining room set, and she was like, okay, I'm not going to sell this to anyone who doesn't love it. So I made my little payments on it, got it home. And when I first started seeing my ex-husband, he carved our names in it. I think it might be on your side. And Brody was 3 and got really offended.
Oh, yeah, Brody's right here in front of me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, then his friend wrote a little thing above it, which not Tyler, that was not okay. But then Brody added his name with the correct usage of 2. Because at first I was like, why would you carve in my table? He's like, well, it looks like you're about to refinish it. I'm like, it's literally the look of it. Brody added his name, and then I fell in love with that. So then all Brody's friends, my sisters, like all the people I love, I just have them carving it. So I'm honored that it has a new life here at Casa de Fowler in the podcast studio. That's beautiful and clearly
Virgo.
Giving,
Well,
I mean, it's beautiful.
It's on that side of the table. So both Zach and Dad have come by and done
Mr.
a podcast.
Oh,
and then Zach right
Tony.
below him. Zach came in and saw all the names in the table, and he pulls out his own knife and just starts carving at it.
All guests should mark the table.
And Dad used that big. Can I get that real quick? Mm-hmm. Dad used this big ass knife right here.
Wow, that's a little intense, Tony.
Yeah, Dad.
I would not want to manhandle that knife. Well, I'm scared of sharp things right now. However, that is not a good. It's a lot of knife to carve into the table.
Yeah, because Dad comes in, he goes, "Well, I don't have a knife," and so he pulls this one out, and I was like, "Well, actually, I have an X-Acto blade set that's over there by my desk that my grandfather has had since probably we think the 60s, and we think maybe it was made in the 50s, but." Yeah, Dad grabbed this knife, and which is really cool. Raindrop Damascus knife, but yeah. But anyways, we'll put that right there, and I'll put it away later. Jen, thank you so much for coming by to this funny life and hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
Any parting words to the people who watch?
Pull your full chart. You'll learn a lot about yourself.
Pull your full chart and pull yourself together. Quit fucking around. All right. Peace.
Bye.